Hey, what's up, everybody? Good to be back. I'm Rain. I'm going to be here covering a FACEIT co-stream for the Fallen in the Masters Division. It's the Fallen versus Mouse5, and this is going to be a pretty fun matchup, not just because we get to be in that Masters Division, the best of the best here, but also because this is going to be the last Pride event stream here for Fallen Esports. So I had so much fun getting to cover the Fallen Pride tournament that happened earlier in the month, and now I get to be here for a co-stream to finish off Pride Month as well. So just a reminder that this Pride Month, Fallen Esports has been supporting the Brave Space, which is a LGBTQ plus community organization based in Chicago. So if you're interested in making a donation for Pride Month to the Brave Space Alliance, you can check out the link in the Twitch chat here, which I believe is going to be linked for you all. And thank you all so much for being here, for celebrating Pride Month with Fallen Esports. I hope that you had a really fantastic time. Love to see all of the Pride wisps that have gone out in the server and on Twitter as well. But we're here to watch a FACEIT match. Let's introduce you to the Fallen team here. Now, it is a fairly large roster, so there are some substitutions and things that can be made as we go throughout this best of 5, first to 3 here. We've Krieged, Martian on DPS, Boot Chop the tank, Benji and Catch on support here. And yeah, like I mentioned, there are some other players as well that we might get to see subbed in, including Ghost on tank, Nyanza on DPS, and then we also have Wed on support as well. So we'll see if there's any subs that come through during this series. On the other side of the things, Mouse5 here. So not as familiar with them, but we do have the 5 that have been listed as the starting players on FACEIT on your screen here. So excited to see this team. I know that they have been a team that has kind of climbed up through the ranks. I remember watching Mouse5, I believe it was in Advanced Division quite a few seasons ago now. So it's awesome to get to see these teams climbing up through the rosters. Or through the divisions. Now, it is the Fallen that get to have the first map pick here. And of course, it is going to be a control map that we end up going to, since this is going to be one of the 3 control maps that are in the map pool. We had a little bit of a shake up, I think, in the map pool, taking, I believe it was Lijiang Tower off of the options here, which may be a little shocking for some people. It feels like Lijiang Tower has been a mainstay for a long time. So the options being Ilios, Antarctic Peninsula, or Oasis as map number 1 here. And of course, having the map selection here does mean that the Fallen also get to have that first hero ban, which can be really nice, especially in the first map where you can really kind of set the tempo for how this series is going to play out. I've seen a lot of teams, including the Fallen, go for a Lucio ban kind of right out the gate. It really allows you to kind of force a very specific composition. Been seeing a lot more Mizuki and some Kiriko being played, so we'll have to see if that's what we end up on. Of course, as well, I feel like the Cat Bastion, maybe a little bit out of favor now, but probably still an option on some very specific maps here. So we will just get the lineup finalized right now. I think that I know what map we're going to, but I wasn't completely paying attention to the match page, so I don't want to lock it in just yet and be wrong. So we're going to wait for these lineups to be finalized. And since I'm taking a look at it here, we do have some other substitutions that could be available for the side of Mouse5, including Clay Machine, Mithraea, and Kaori. Yeah, I already mentioned that there are some potential substitutions that could come in here for the Fallen as well. Once we get the lineups finalized here, we'll know what control map we're going to, and then we'll also have an idea of what the hero bans are going to look like as well. And of course, it's the standard FACEIT hero bans here, so you're not going to be able to ban out the same role. You're going to have to go for a ban onto one of the other roles, and you can't ban the same hero out more than once in a series. So we'll see what the Fallen are going to opt for here, as Well, we do know the map, and I was right. I didn't want to take a guess and be wrong. But map number 1 is going to be Oasis here. Looks like we have the hero bands coming in as well. That being the Ramatra and the Juno here. So, interesting little bit of shake up here. But still getting to see that support band come through. So interesting to see how that'll impact the way that these teams are playing. I believe that it was the Fallen that banned out the Ramatra. But we will have to see. Isn't listed, unfortunately, in the lobby here. We are just taking a look at the... I've been invited to the lobby, and there's actually one player from each team that have yet to connect here. So we are awaiting, a player from each of these teams. I'll make sure that my overlay is correct here. It looks like we are gonna have some people, or the teams swapped around here, so I'll update that before we get in. Okay, to make it simple. All right, well, we have about 3.5 minutes for the team to connect in. So I think in the meantime, while we're waiting for them to do that, let's take a look at how the Fallen has been doing so far in this season. This is week 3, I believe now. Take a look. We'll bring up the page here. All right, so looks like currently sitting about 8th to 13th place here in the NA Masters Division. They have 1 win under their belt, 3 losses. So really looking to try and turn things around right now. That the 1 win that they have being against Vivacity here. So losing to Ex Oblivione, Amplify, and Iliad Artemis. And definitely some strong... They went up against some pretty strong teams to start off. I will give them that. Because Ex Oblivione, Amplify, and Iliad Artemis all sitting in that number 2 to number 5 seeds. So they got some tough matches right out the gate here. But coming up against... the Vivacity team, which was a little bit more in that 8th to 13th, so a little bit more kind of middle of the pack here, like them. Mouse5 taking a look at where they're kind of sitting right now. They have had a pretty rough go at things so far in the season. 0-3 right now, the 14th to 16th place here, and these teams both did play against Amplify and Vivacity, but we did not have Mouse5 coming out on top in that match versus Vivacity. So if you're looking at history here, I suppose the Fallen should have a little bit of an advantage here. As all right, it looks like we have got all 10 players in the lobby now. Let's get ready to head on into things here. A reminder, it is Oasis for map number 1. There is no Ramatra and there is no Juno in play here. So let's get started here with our Masters Division FACEIT match for Season 9. I don't have my Wisp friend on here. Hold up, we gotta correct that.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Round 1. Capture the objective.
Start it up! Overlays on the run. Alright, so on the side of the Fallen. Go back, live baby. Already, however. That gets you early. They are going to set themselves up on the oh, not quite. Oh, they are going to actually get the flip here. The contest coming through a little bit late there for Playboys. Not finding the nail on the Ducio is being here for the Fallen to try and take control of this invasion. But comes out and great getting a little revenge there. Built here, we'll have to see if there's big changes come from Mouse5. The Shion matchup as well. It's going to be the Kitsune Rush coming online shortly for both of these teams. Could be the door in here for Dezo. Catch up and ready to go as well. Mouse5 picking up first. Top ends up falling there. Catch does lose. Kitsune Rush in response here. Martian finds Netta, so it is even. There's no tank here on the side of the Fallen. Not a lot of presence on the point here. Martian commits in the Suzuki spree, but immediately gets punished for that. And now he's going to clean up here for Mouse5. What it is going to be Playboy committing this cage in. The beat comes through from Bench. Chop is alive momentarily here. That beat free the tank going. And this is the go button now for the Fallen. They can hit the beat in, drop that cage fight out. The leader coming up going to throw in the block. Ends up in the cage, but is going to be ripped apart there. Nano. And it was a nice attempt here for the Fallen to come back into this fight. Unfortunately, that Lucio is online fast enough. Also, yes, excellent response to the cage from the chop. However, very expensive on-site, so Drake does not have the blade online. Definitely has to look up another Kitsune Rush here. Catches Drag. The blade in, the Kitsune Rush out as well. Trying to find something. He's going to find the Reaper, but shots will end up falling, so not having to come back here. You need to make something big happen if you're the Fallen. Down Nano is a great start. The trades coming through are not favoring the Fallen. Get himself on this point, and so just broke Bill on the point. And there goes from the other side of Mouse5. Down Marshall on that should be enough for the Fallen to pick up this fight. A couple of stragglers on to the point. Oh, going to be good job getting knocked down onto the low ground. But Martian is alive and in control and at 91%.
Oh, yeah.
The Fallen will manage to flip this point back over, keep themselves alive here. Kitsune Rush and the spree ready to go here for the Fallen. It's going to be catched. Kitsune Rush first. Mouse5 trying to go for the relatively unscathed. I think Playboys had to use the cardiac overdrive, but that's pretty much it.
Feels good, huh?
And now, of course, if you're Mouse5, you only have to win one fight here. You're trying to build up some of this fight, winning ultimate to make the fight ready to go. And it's off the point here. She's on to great beat from Bench. Keeps the team alive and allows Martian to do all this damage on the point. Quad kills here as Martian. Death from above onto Nano. It is the team kill here for the Fallen to finish out point number 1 of Oasis.
Score 0-1.
And nice comeback for the Fallen team. Get a little dicey there at first.
Why not try our open
どうして私がこんな奴らと Hello?
I'm the center of the healing system. Spiral galaxy speed.
You astonish me.
Move.
From imperfection, we build a new
Alright.
world.
3, 2,
Sim TP out for both of these teams, and then I suspect they swap back over on to the second here. Yes. No swaps here as we head over to a city center. It is going to be Mouse5 getting themselves set up around the streets here as we are going to see the Fallen instead of taking control of this high.
This BPM. Healing signal incoming.
the objective is now
Alright, the point has opened, so at some point these teams are going to have to dip their toes down on to that point. Self set up on the point here. Great right there from Ray. Right. Chop alive. There's the stomp in. Chop never get out. Ray, he's going to find out blood in this fight as well. Looking for more about Valga. So low, but he's going to end up getting punished there. Neto. Sure, there's place where he's alive in the fight. Meanwhile, though, the flip did go over to his own here, so if Mouse5 want to stay there, they're going to have to make some changes here as kind of bring extra wins. But with Blue Chop still alive on the crowd, and Martian Chop tearing out here on the Shion. That will be the point. Maintain control here. Setsuki's free and the Kitsune Rush ready to go. Should be online for Mouse5 shortly as well.
Soothing your wounds.
Page difference here. Very noticeable. It is going to be that there. Chopping the cage to try and turn things. But Neno using that Setsuki's free to more or less shut down that cage fight. A lot of space being gained here for Mouse5. Push their way on this point. He's gonna find a 2K there, and it'll be the flip over for them. They can begin that Setsuki's free and the Kitsune Rush, but otherwise, still on some big ultimates here for this next fight. The feet and the blade gonna have to be enough here for Fallen to come back in. Flip this fight over. Alright, Cage shifted immediately here for fighting and it's a big blossom here from Pizza P. Commits in the beat from Pico as well. So a very expensive fight here for Mouse5 to pick up the team kill. And luckily for the Fallen, they did not get any feedback from them around those ultimates. Now, Tristan has this blade ready to go, and then he'll have that lead to follow up. There is the lead, there is the blade. Trying to find something, getting a whole shot of Malgas. It is going to help the team finish off that tank, and bit of a strike on that side of Neno. It'll be the team kill here, as the deep blade is going to be enough for the Fallen to push their way back onto this objective. And now, not a whole lot of ults building up for either of these teams. Tetsuo having this Kitsune Rush is going to be a slight advantage here, something that Mouse5 is going to like a gentle this is potential last fight territory here on that one. And that's something up that Kitsune Rush very quickly is going to get it online as well. Kitsune Rush is on the point here. That is overtime. That means that Mouse5 need to stay on this objective. Unleashed here immediately shut down the attack. Again from Blue as well, but going to come out on top of this fight. Still, the beat connects onto themselves. They will get one more touch before falling victim to the headshot. And that is it. The Fallen will pick up map number 1 here in our series. Definitely felt like that sub map was a little bit less close than the others. Martian looking absolutely fantastic on get to see the new hero getting playtime right off the bat. I feel like, you know, sometimes we don't really get to see that, but so far it really feels like Blizzard's been hitting the head on the nail with some of these new heroes that have been coming out.
MVP.
Flattering me, eh?
Alright, so map number 2 will go over to Mouse5, and they can pick any mode that has not been played that they would like, and then of course any map from the map pool. So they are not wasting any time whatsoever. We are going to be going over to Flashpoint for map number 2. It will be New Junk City here, and it's going to be a Mauga ban that comes through. Hey, yeah, if you can match it, I mean, I think it's a very, very smart ban here. Boot Chop did look very good on the Mauga. I do feel like PlayToys was doing a pretty good job on the Mauga themselves, but yeah, they want to swap things up a little bit here. So this also, of course, means that the Fallen are going to have to ban a DPS or a support here. So we'll see what they opt for. New Junk City, of course, typically a little bit more brawl favored. Looking a little bit more of these kind of like close quarters fights. Especially point number 1, Coliseum point, definitely looking to catch everybody out on these rotations. We are getting some lineups being finalized as well. Looks like we are going to actually have Boot Chop out for this one, so it is going to be Ghost coming in on that tank role for the side of the Fallen. So far, does it look like there's any swaps for the side of Mouse5, but they still have a couple of minutes to sort things out. So while they do that, I'm gonna just remind everybody, happy Pride. We are reaching the end of Pride Month here. If you're interested in supporting the Brave Space Alliance, this is the LGBTQ+ community organization that Fallen Esports has chosen to support this Pride Month. You can check out our pinned message in the Twitch chat, and that will be a donation link that will take you straight to the Brave Space Alliance's donation page. So thank you so much for being here with us in Pride Month, and happy Pride! All right. We have our second ban, and it's going to be a Kiriko ban here from the side of the Fallen. I like it. Will we get to see some Ana? I don't know. I don't know. Maybe? I feel like it's funny because I just finished saying, like, this is kind of like a brawl-focused map, which I don't typically think I would see an Ana on, but you know what? Maybe they just want to ban the Kiriko because they want to play something else? Junker Queen? We'll see. I'm excited to see what they're cooking up. Looks like we are just waiting for one to connect from the Fallen. So we'll get them in here. Good start, however, for the Fallen, so they are now, if they can win the map pick of Mouse5 here, put themselves at a match point, that would be best case scenario here for them. I think especially where they've already played against some of these really top tier teams, right? Like the top teams, Ex Oblivione, Amplify, Iliad, that have had a pretty good showing so far, and didn't take any of those to a map number 5. Amplify and Iliad were a 3-1 each, and then it was a 3-0 for Ex Oblivione. So right now, I think if you are the Fallen, you want to win some of these matches decisively. You want to get some 3-0s under your belt. The win against Vivacity was a 3-1. Still good to at least not go to a map 5, but I think that if you're playing against some of these teams that are in that kind of lower seeding or lower standing at the moment, or kind of middle of the pack, I guess, you know, we're only 4 matches in for some of these teams. But you definitely want to try and win these out as decisively as you can. All right. Looks like we have all of the players in the lobby now. Let's make sure that I have the teams on the right sides. All right, let's jump into things here. Map number 2. It is New Junk City. This is the map selection of Mouse5. They're looking to tie this series up and force at least a map number 4.
Ready for battle.
All right. Also, yeah, no Mauga, no Kiriko here. Yeah, some Zarya potentially from Mouse5. I feel like I will be a little bit surprised if Nana
5,
sticks on this
4,
Cassidy, but
3, 2,
it'll be the TP out
1.
from the teams, and then we'll see the swap back over to Shion. Break off of that Genji over on already looking to take a bit of an angle here. He gets spotted out by Mouse5. Trying to find something other than a hazard, but is going to find his Shion. He sent back to his pocket. Taking the tank out of the fight right away here. Great solid, and that will allow them to gain the first capture objective.
Why do you take care of these folks?
No swaps here inside of Mouse 5, and yeah, they are running this Juno music backline. You can hit the chain. You should be able to blow things up fairly quickly, I think, especially with Nano finding those ends. And, well, first hit, he's going to go over on to Benji here. Playfully not done yet. Zarya for the side of Mouse 5 set up on the point now, daring anybody to come down and challenge him. 58% on the board here for the Fallen as they're going to make an adjustment. Benji over on off of that break. I think it makes a lot of sense playing against, the Cassidy and Zarya. It's a whole lot of guys happening in favor of Alright, it's a rotation over to the right side here for the Fallen. Online just yet. They can play a little bit slower, trying to get this Ray online. Nano does have the Deadeye ready to go. 18 HP will manage to stay alive through that. Rick is actually putting a lot of pressure on the point here. The Gatsby on the play again finds the headshot, catch that orbital ray that was so needed by the Fallen out of the mix here. The grab solo on Ghost will be followed up on, and Nano with another couple of kills here. That is looking pretty good here for Mouse5 to
Hello.
pick up the first one.
How's it
here
going?
on New Junk City.
Hey there.
Archer looking for the touch. Will be able to get it outside. Maria is going to use it towards his health. Both the portals and the Deadeye, in fact. Everything thrown into the fight here for Mouse5. They will capture this point, but
Flashpoint.
expensive ult for that ultimate. Maybe they're holding on to their own zone. Actually catching the orbital ray. I missed that. Fortunately for Fallen, that is a great chain to come through here from Studio. That blossom out of the fight here. And that pretty much you have to wait for the Fallen. First point percentage. Good go over to those 5. I'm going to afford to work with stop the point from coming through the race bubble and a great chain as well. He's not able to find the follow up on Archer. There goes the damage. Great tidal blast to connect on the open towards here. Great quickly follow up and actually take down a few there. Alright, first percentage. Fallen's going to be able to pull that. Great title blast there from Benji to keep Ghost alive.
Take the objective.
Hanging out in a corner right now, trying to catch Mouse5 off guard. I think I saw a Tingle over that way. Those aware that there could be something on the side. As this is ready to go, not that Zarya using a nice bubble flying through as well. It's a great first one here. And the face down Fridge was working on that angle. Potentially lost, but now it is an aggressive push on the point here from Mouse5. So he's gonna get a little bit of extra percentage here, but the hazard goes all very, very low. Get out alive. So coming through for the Fallen, but you have to watch that angle. Nano has the Jedi ready to go. A lot of ults ready to go for both of these teams. Looking for an opportunity to get to the rest of Awesome. Pick up the lead here on our second point of New Jump City. They're looking to tie this map up early. Oh, and extend those details. Sorry, they actually didn't get that first point. Yeah, and they have the grab here. Stop the tunnel. Not happening. Get it in, connect on to two. And nobody from the ball will be able to tie the lead here for front point. Kill coming through for Mouse5 and makes himself at a map point here. Head on over to Bomb Flats. The Deadeye in hand here for Mouse5 to work with. The down four from Ghost. Try and see the opening that the Fallen needs. They managed to get first percent on both of the points so far. They just haven't been able to get to that 100. Alright, point is open now. There's the Deadeye from Nano over. Down four in, doesn't connect on to anyone. Ghost does not drop. Nano doesn't find there's another tidal blast right over on Ghost. That's gonna clear that point. Just Sucesso. And he's trying to stay alive, and it's gonna have his punish. He's trying to go in and find that 3 HP. Down of the Fallen is once again, the Fallen will be able to get the first percentage going here. Now it's just a matter of getting a little bit of a reverse sweep here for the Fallen. They're going to have to win this point and the next 2 points if they want to set themselves at that match point. Martin has three ready to go. Trying to get an angle here. It's a fast rotation that comes through for the side of the 5. Oh, but a late bubble there from Blade Blaze. And the Boy Ride not going to do any damage there. Marshall paying for it. And Chris comes through the side of Mouse5. A lot of ults ready to go for Mouse5 as well. Both of the fight winning in their own right here. Does a whole lot of damage. One of their own, however, the attack rate very, very low there. 3 kills here for Mouse5, and now gaining the lead here on Bomb Flats as they are getting themselves closer and closer to tying the series up, winning their own map pick here.
Just trying to help
Grab
out.
coming online.
Change my mind.
But Fallen managed to hold on to the ults that they had and build up to those that they couldn't. From Patch. Here's the good guy Sanctuary coming through from Lucio. Well, Breakpoint is walled up. Can't find their way into that Sanctuary. Grab not going to be online this fight. Nano thinks it's winnable. He can use the Deadeye. To stay alive in there. No, it won't even do that. Patch is not going to find their way out of the fight. 96% though, it is a to Refinery for our 4th point. Still potentially final one here. Mouse5 can cap this up. Able to tie our
How about me, you creeps?
down 4 and the Blossom still ready to counter this one. And committing a grab into that fight. Unfortunately for Mouse5, they're looking at trying to make a couple of dry fights here, build up some of their ultimates, try and get this Blossom out. Or up and down 4. Alright, this one tapped up by the Fallen. There's the down 4 in. There's the Blossom. The choice. Not really have much of a chance to survive that one. There's a contest happening on the point there. He's gonna shut down any ideas of what's coming through though. Alright, up above 50% here. That orbit and Fury now ready to go for the Fallen, or nearly ready to go. We're a matching orbit here from Dead though, and having that is very important as well. Orbit trying to create a pathway. A lower orbit here. Catch though. Get caught out as he's alive, and Grade not hiding far enough away from that Deadeye. And at the final moment, it's over for Refinery as that's 5 going to start holding some percentage here. And have to win some back-to-back fights, however. Especially, yeah, this Tidal Blast ready to go for bench. We've seen it time and time again be used to keep one of these players alive in the fight. And it's such a fantastic job of doing that. Oh, the kick I sanctuary! Yeah, once it's inside of it, it's just gonna be all the damage coming there from that. Pretty excellent play there from Martian. I mean, I don't know that anybody from the side of Mouse5 will even be able to touch Ducio but yeah, just in to get reset back to the spawn here. We're tied up on New Junk City. It's gonna be the Ducks, our deciding point here. And the Fallen did themselves set up first. They're on the high ground. They held on to that Tidal Blast as well. Another grab ready to go though for Playboys. And Mouse5 isn't afraid to go for a grab if they could win this fight. Well, it's another grab on to Drake. And again, throw out that Tidal Blast, keeps that Reaper alive, and it's going to make some space for Marshall to pick up a few kills. Percentage of the Ducks building here. Down 4, held on to by Ghost. And Drake has the Blossom as well. We saw this combo come through last time. Giving him for it again. It's a great wall on the Playboys. The bubbles are out. The down 4 is in. Somehow still alive, but that Blossom should lock things up. Oh, okay, actually he's gonna get traded out though.
How's it going?
Taking Creek out of the fight, however, there's no tank here for that fight. They're able to up this high ground. They want this Deadeye to be set up here.
Hey there.
The orbit's coming online for both of these teams as well. Keep an eye on what they can get done here. The Deadeye in. Holding. Falling very, very low. Does manage to live for minutes to alive for that Deadeye. Does find the limb. And now it's going to be overtime. It needs to be triggered here. Definitely going to use this orbit ray on the point. Trying to keep Mouse5 on the stage. Martian doing all the damage, recognizing how much work Definitely putting in to keep that team alive and taking out just before that Kikai Sanctuary is online. However, it will be the flip that comes through here for Mouse5. 99% and the Fallen did a great job holding on to their own orbit, and Martian's gonna have that
Ready for action.
got cut right in. That guy sanctuary the last time Yukio used that in response. Yukio's gonna be able to negate the ultimate and there is orbit out from Pat. You can see an aggressive dive here from Joe. Overtime comes through as the Fallen managed to put a point over in their favor. Does so falls and it's not very good for Mouse5 on their map. On the point, all of the damage for the Fallen, and it's a team kill as they reverse sweep here on New Dunk City, and they put themselves at a series point.
Play of the game.
Benji with the play of the game. You don't get to see the Rudolph
It's
showing up
showtime!
here too often. Great title blast. And a great swap as well from Benji off of that brig over on to that Wuyong. 23 and 9 here. I mean, Ghost had a fantastic showing as well, seeing the hazard get to come into play once that Mao gets out of the mix here. So great flexibility from the Fallen.
MVP.
Ah, shucks, thanks.
Okay, well, this does mean that Mouse5 once again gonna be in control of that map pick. So we can't go back to control, we can't go back to Flashpoint. So they are going to opt to take us over to an escort map here, an escort map that I think is quickly becoming, or maybe it's already been, the favored of many, many teams here. It is going to be Circuit Royale. Just for anyone's information here, the other maps that were available here for the escort is Rialto and Dorado. All right. Sorry for the audio issues. Chat! This is what happens when I have everything changed over for my OBS. I finally did the OBS update, and I did not mess around with it as much as I maybe should have before I put us on stream here. Lineups are being finalized. I have missed the bands, but we will see what the bands are going to come through here for our Circuit Royale map. Again, this could be the last map here. If the Fallen could win this one out, they will take that 3-0. And like I mentioned at the beginning, I think getting a 3-0 here is really, really important for the Fallen. You need to be able to get decisive wins over these teams that are middle or like bottom of the pack here as starting out this season. So we'll see if that's going to be the case. Now Mouse5 in this awkward situation of having to potentially reverse sweep here to stay alive in the series and to get their first win here. Mouse5 unfortunately not able to pick up a win so far. They are 0-5 or 0-3 in the season so far. The Fallen with that 1-3 record. So both of these teams having a bit of a rough start to the season, but still many more weeks to go. Alright, now let's see if there's any swaps being made here. I'm wondering if we might see Ghost subbed back out here. Oh, okay, interesting. We are going to have Victory in on the DPS, I believe it is. So, hey, I feel like if you have, if you go to a Circuit Royale map, you know, it's a pretty specific type of map. We typically tend to see a bit more of the poke, a lot of those long-range DPS to work with. So I think, yeah, having maybe like kind of a specialist for these maps could be really helpful. Especially depending on what the bans were. Because that's really important too for FACEIT, is that your lineup finalization happens after those bans come through. So if you have a team with like a really good depth of hero pools, it's going to be really, really hard to kind of target ban you out. On the side of Mouse5, so far, it doesn't look like there's any changes that are coming through. Again, they do have a handful of folks that are in the substitute section, so they could potentially swap some people in, but so far not looking like that's going to be the case. 10 seconds here for the lineups to be finalized, and then I'll be able to tell everybody what the bans are. So we shall see. Maybe I'll speculate a little bit about who banned what. Sigma ban coming through and a Genji ban. Well, I mean, I feel like the Genji ban came from Mouse5? No? Maybe. And the Sigma ban from the Fallen, perhaps? Alright. We shall see. We're getting everybody connected in here. Ooh, a couple of swaps actually, as we're gonna get to have we're gonna have Wed in as well for the side of the Fallen. So Wed and Victory stepping in. Wed on the support role here, Victory over on that DPS role. Alright. Once again, just waiting for a reconnection here in the lobby. So I guess while I await that, thank you so much, everybody, for being here for the Fallen Esports co-stream. And if you can tell from the background, a little something special here because it is going to be the last stream for Pride Month. You can hear Circuit Royale's ready to go, but I'm going to remind everybody about the Brave Space Alliance, which is an LGBTQ+ community organization based in Chicago that Fallen Esports has been raising money for this Pride Month. So it is a LGBTQ+ organization that focuses on education, empowerment for the community within the Chicago area. So if you're interested in donating, you can check out the pinned message in the Twitch chat, which will take you to the donation page for that. All right, I think we're ready to get into things. This could be the final map here in the series. If the Fallen can get a win on Circuit, they will get their first 3-0 in Season 9 of the Masters Division. Let's see if they can pull it off. All right, looks like I'm gonna have to do a little side swap here. It is going to be the Fallen starting out on the defense here. There we go.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Attackers
All right.
incoming.
Ghost is still in, so there is still going to be a hazard on the board for Fallen. Playtoys is going to be over on the Arisa here. Quite the swap up. Potentially expecting to see some hazard come through from Ghost. And Victory in. Oh, and Victory gone. Unfortunately, there's the caster curse for the DPS making the debut of the match. Nano matching on this Sojourn as well. The Sojourn Xion for both of these teams. The only difference really being in that tank line. Aggressive dive in from Ghost, trying to take out Nano. Does manage to displace the Sojourn from that far angle here, and that's just going to be all about kind of controlling the space here, trying to allow for Victory to have a little bit more angles to work with. There's the speed ring in. Ghost already falling quite low, though. Has to be very, very careful about these dives against the Arisa. Great wall to come through. The Olymp Not gonna find its way there, though. And right now, it's all about building up these ultimates if you're the teams. Catch already has this Kalune rush ready to go and is gonna dump it as soon as it comes out. Takes down Neno immediately. Definitely is not gonna have an opportunity to build up to that Kitsune rush to match it. To get one of these late kills, it would be massive here for the Fallen, and they do just that. Deso down, and actually a late kill onto Playboys. Yes, the Orisa falls for the side of Mouse5 as well. Alright. It's gonna be that Kitsune rush from Deso ready to go, and the Terra Surge here. Martian has the Satsuki Spree ready. Doesn't necessarily want to use it to initiate a fight. Pretty easy to get kind of bursted down in this ultimate. Alright, there's the Satsuki Spree in. Ghost is going to find a 2-gate in that, but it's actually Trace that comes through there. That Terra Surge from Playboy doing a lot of damage, and there is the late Kitsune rush here. So looking to try and lock this part in for their team. Now it's going to commit his overclock as well as a dive in from Ghost, doing a lot of damage to the Sojourn, but is going to end up paying for that trespass. And this should be a first point cap here for Mouse5.
Let's kick this off.
Yes, it will not be the contest coming in. As the Fallen are going to opt instead to just get themselves set up. High ground here. Down 4 ready to go. Looks to throw it in. The Zuzu going to keep the Kiriko alive, but nobody else benefiting from that. And Victory with some free headshots. Go see up that down 4. And great control of the map here for the Fallen. They're going to play close here as well. Suzuki Spree for Pizza Pete is the only ult on the board right now. And Neno, oh, okay, is going to find first blood. Excellent railgun onto Victory there. Joyride going to find its mark. Not going to find the Elim, but right now it seems to be just about creating the space to move this payload forward. Build up this Terra Surge for Play Toys. Oh, it's the violent leap in, the chase down Deso. Not only is that a lot of healing down, but nearly had that Kitsune rush ready to go. Suzuki Spree committed in. Pizza Pete is immediately going to pick up a double, and so much damage done on to Catch. The Joyride just to finish things off here. Mouse5. Eventually, we'll get somebody onto the point to start moving towards the second checkpoint. Both support ults are ready to go here for the Fallen. See how they're going to opt to use them in this fight. Victory with that overclock coming online as well. Could be a nice combo. Alright, Kitsune Rush is out from both teams. The orbit committed in. Terra Surge immediately in response. The shield perk has now been picked up by Playboys as well. Orbit's out from the side of the Fallen, and Victory this overclock as well, but that shield perk really causing issues here. The Sojourn hitting a whole lot of barrier, and it is looking like Mouse5 should be able to capture this second objective here on circuit and make their way into the third.
Good to see you. Hello. Hey. Good to see you.
Downpour ready to go for Ghost, and Martian building up to that Suzuki Spree as well. Wed is going to move over onto the Yari as well, so off of that Juna, so no speed now for the side of the Fallen. I feel like that really does benefit, the speed really benefits this Xion. But Ghost has just been so aggressive, doing so much damage. Maybe having a follow-up from the Yari could be just enough here for them to find the final blows onto all the damage that comes through from this team. Pizza Pete is finding Victory here. This Boom has just continued to move forward to the third. Ooh, TP out just in time for Cat to stay alive. That execute, so dangerous when the Xion was all charged up. Playtoys making their way up onto this high ground. It's gonna be an aggressive push here from the Xion and the Hazard. Martian is going to find Pizza Pete with that Satsuki spree.
Triple kill.
The supports for the Fallen coming alive in the kill feed there. The team kill coming through. And the stabilization happening here for the Fallen on third point. 1 minute in the time bank. Mouse5. They have the tools to push forward here. It is going to be the overclock coming out. Not quite able to get onto the high ground though. And oh, nice Suzu, but it's actually not going to stop the root from coming through. Pizza Pete with that Suzuki free up on the high ground. The execute going to take down victory as well. A 3K for the Xion of Mouse5. Will it be enough to move this payload forward? Catch a sliver of HP of the Xion. Absolute hunter when it comes to those low targets. However, there's no heals and Playtoys is going to suffer because of that. It has to stay alive here. It has to be the one to touch the point most likely. Playtoys gonna swap over onto the Diva, not gonna hold on to that Terra Surge, trying to get it on to the point. And Pizza Pete will trigger the overtime immediately though, met with a headshot from this Yari. Captive Sun is ready to go here. Playtoys now on that Diva could eat that up fairly easily, but gotta use so much of your DM just to stay on the point when waiting patiently here. And I will still get eaten. Playtoys wanted that one bad, and it's a great swap over for the Diva, but Mouse5 going to have to do more here, especially up against Ghost on this Hazard. So much damage coming through the spike guard, pulling everybody apart here, and that will be it. Overtime gone. Team kill to finish things off here. The Fallen will stop that third checkpoint from being collected here. Mouse5 gonna have a stellar hold to try and stay alive in this series.
Initiating match.
And I'm really impressed at seeing Ghost still on the Hazard, still really making it work, doing a great job with the engagements, not staying in for too long. I feel like especially on these really long range maps that don't necessarily have as much verticality to really work with. You have to be very, very cognizant of how long you can stay in a fight before you need to back out on the Hazard.
Ready for battle.
Alright. On the defense here, Playtoys thinking about this Zarya. And thinking about the Juno as well. See what they are going to opt to go for here. Yep, it is going to be that Juno Kiriko. Playtoys on the Zarya as well. Doesn't look like we're gonna have any changes from the Fallen on the attack. Ooh, Victory gonna start out on the Widow though, looking for a little something. Only gonna find Zarya bubble. Alright. Ghost looking to take as much space as early on as possible. I think especially having Wedge starting out on this Yari, you have a lot of damage potential here. If the Yari can focus more on getting that primary fire out rather than just having to heal, it's going to provide a lot of benefit to this team. Joyride onto the high ground here for Pizza Pete. Has to use that mobility just to stay alive though. That's going to be so important here for Mouse5 is not being the first pick here. It's a long way back from that spawn. Bridge is in control of the Fallen right now. Don't necessarily have all that much space to work with though. Ghost is going to dive in, try and change that. And oh, that's a lot of damage in. Another great wall coming through from the Hazard of the Fallen. But The follow up on to the hazard is there for Mouse5. It's great patience for Mouse5. Withstand that engagement and get some late kills as well. Catch is going to fall and Victory falling late as well. Mouse5 are just going to get themselves set right back up at this corner.
Good to see you. Come on, start running.
Building up to this rush from Deso, leading quite a bit here compared to Catch. But Wed does have that Captive Sun ready to go. Not gonna have to be worried about the D.Va eating it up this time. However, between the Suzu and the bubbles, definitely still a chance for it to lose value. Alright, the sun does come out. Turret actually connected on to anyone as Wed falls pretty much immediately after casting it. The grab ready to go here for Playtoys. We can try and hold on to it. Really great combo options, just in the abilities really between Neno and Pizza Pete to work with this grab. You can use the Joyride, you can use that Disruptor Field, all of it is going to help secure a limbs onto those targets that Playtoys gives the grab. Especially when there's no Lucio in play, you don't need to worry about that beat.
This ends now.
Alright, Victory. Oh, gonna use the overclock and immediately gonna get caught up with that grab and the team kill coming through here for Mouse5.
Hello.
Trying to commit the orbit and the grab in, but they have gotten it down to a minute on the clock here for the Fallen. They have just been stalled out on this first point. Alright, Kitsune rush and the down four. A carpet towards the payload. It is going to be trades from either side, but Martian with the 3K there is going to secure this fight win. And style points onto Neno.
30 seconds.
There is definitely a chance
Don't fail me.
we could see Mouse5 come back for a recontest.
Oh, they are coming!
They do have Neno back on the Widow as well. The 3 from Pizza Pete ready to go. Great wall coming through. Ghost is gonna deny the touch from coming through on Mouse5. And these hazard walls have just been so painful for Mouse5 to deal with. Splitting players off, splitting off loops. Just great stuff so far from the Fallen, and they needed that because they were into overtime there. They managed to cap first, so they'll get a little bit more time here as move on to second. Like the positioning as well coming through from the Fallen. They pushed up onto the high ground. They don't want to give any of this space over to Neno and Pizza Pete. Rush ready to go. It is going to be the Orbit from Wed in response. Martian finding a couple, but Pizza Pete has the ult. Oh, is going to get shut down, and a lot of trades coming through, but it's just the Zarya left alive here for the side of Mouse5. 4 HP finds Martian, but Ghost still alive on the hazard, still doing damage. Is most likely gonna have to back up a little bit here, but the TP coming through from Catch, so the support is there for Ghost to stay in this fight. Then catches Neno up on the angle. Great read from Ghost and Victory on that one. Another wall to deny another touch here. As the Fallen pick up point number 2. They're going into the third point here. And again, Mouse5 did not complete this map, so the Fallen don't quite have to get it all the way to the end of point 3, but it is quite a distance in. Grab is ready to go from Playtoys here.
This ends now. I'm going for the gold.
The ult used first by the Fallen is getting the downpour in. Victory using this overclock into the grab. Whoop! Parting gift off the edge there for Victory. feel like I just heard them say worth in the voice chat. And worth it is, as this is going to be the Fallen maintaining control of that high ground. Great job moving this payload forward as well. Oh, Ghost is in very, very deep now. And Blade Boys has swapped over on to the Diva off of that Zarya. So going to be able to eat up a lot more of the damage and the heals that go through on the Fallen. Alright. Whoa, great start here for the Fallen. They take down Ducio, who had that orbit ready to go. Now the Suzuki Spree is going to D-max the Diva. It is Nano on the high ground. Actually dropped down to the low ground with his overclock, trying to make something happen. Moose Kitsune rushes on the point here. It's all blue in the kill feed, though. Orbit comes out. Ducio not going to be able to stay alive. And with the Suzuki Spree, the last hope here taken down. The payload slides into that golden box, and that is it. The Fallen will complete Circuit Royale, and they will complete the 3-0 sweep here against Mouse5. Martian with another play of the game on this. Neon. Absolutely deadly on this hero. You love to see it. These top-tier players just figuring things out so quickly on these new heroes. Great showing again. I gotta praise Ghost. I mean, 34-5 on Circuit Royale playing Hazard. Really great showing from the team.
It's only fitting.
And that will be it here for us. This has been your Masters Division Season 9 here. That was the second win that the Fallen have been able to pick up in this season. Unfortunately for Mouse5, still looking to find a win here as we are in week 3, I believe. So that has been it also for our Pride Month streams. So thank you so much to everybody that tuned in for the Pride Month stream, for the charity event that we got to host earlier in the month. This has all been in support of the Brave Space Alliance. So if you're interested in making a donation to them, you can check out the pinned message in the Twitch chat. Thank you all for being here and supporting Fallen Esports, and big congrats to Fallen Esports on getting the victory here tonight. I have been Rain. Thank you all so much for joining me, and I hope to see you all again in the future for another FACEIT Masters co-stream.